Hey, welcome back to Mik'd Updates, Friday, October 28th. We are live from Uncle Earls. We are brought to you by Sterling Automotive. It is Halloween night here. It is the weekend of Halloween. Nobody wants to spend Halloween on Monday. It is a costume competition.
Should be fucking illegal.
Here at Uncle Earls. What we got?
Halloween on a Monday.
First city ordinance from Jack. He's like, Halloween on a Monday, fucking illegal.
Or it should be just a day off.
Yeah.
Well,
Tuesday off too.
Tuesday should be the day off.
A week. Give me a week off.
Halloween week off.
Yeah.
Give me the whole week.
Would you rather have Halloween or Thanksgiving off?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It should literally just be the last weekend in October. It shouldn't be actually the 31st.
Right.
The 31st.
Oh yeah, the weekend.
Like let it be known.
It should be
Like the last Saturday of October.
Like Thanksgiving's that Thursday before the third Thursday of Thanksgiving. Of November. Halloween should be the last weekend.
The last Saturday, last whatever you want to call it. That's what it should be.
God, that would be amazing.
We're fixing the world right now.
Yeah, but
that's what we do on Fridays.
You know who's not fixing the world is Tom Brady.
Well, listen, going through some things.
He's not fixing his world.
It's officially,
that's for sure.
they're officially divorced. They have
She's
filed.
single.
The papers are filed.
Man, when were those filed? I feel like that happened like
I'll
this.
say this. Let's go. We're going through the Heineken headlines here. But
He lost last night.
Tom may go scorched earth the rest of the year, Coach.
Or he'll
This is
do
behind
nothing.
him. He's back single. Tom Brady's single. Back in the old days, he was doing it. He may be doing it again.
Or is he just old and bad at
Yeah, but he
football?
was doing it single too. Now
Wait.
he's going through some turmoil. He was a little, on edge. Maybe he had a lot going on in his life. Couldn't focus. Couldn't do this. This is behind him. Maybe he goes scorched earth. I hope he doesn't, because for the Saints' sake, as bad as the Saints have been, they are a half game out of second, and 1 game out of first. Now, I think that we would all like for the Panthers somehow to beat the Falcons to beat the Panthers. So the Panthers would just kind of get pushed out. Saints have the tiebreaker over the Falcons as of now. They have to play them again. They're the only team in the division the Saints have beaten. We'll see. They got a game, big game this weekend. Everybody's still hurt. Nobody came back apparently. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore's out. 2 receivers are out, Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas.
Jameis just got benched.
Well, Jameis is benched for the red rifle, which I still don't understand that. But Dennis Allen has his reasons. They better hope that it works, because he may not be here for much longer.
Tank for Bryce Young.
If that's the case, no.
Well, they can't. They don't have their draft pick.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the worst thing you want to do.
Yeah,
give him to somebody else.
The Eagles don't want to overall pick.
Give him to somebody else. Like, no.
Boy, that'd be bad. That would be very bad.
What?
If we get the #1 pick because we stink and then give it to the Eagles.
That would be bad, yeah.
But that's
Who would
kind
they
of the same thing
draft?
the Pelicans are in.
Doesn't matter.
It's
a win-win for them.
Anderson.
Hey, it's a win-win for them, because if somehow they didn't get to where they wanted to get and they said, hey, Jalen's not the guy, then there's quarterbacks just waiting. If he is the guy, then there's talent galore.
And I think they've realized Jaden's the guy.
I'm just saying.
Jaden, we can go there.
Jaden is the guy.
There we go. Jaden is the guy.
On the golf course today about that. We'll have a couple.
Hey, I had a conversation about that today too, but we'll get
Keep
past
saying
that.
golf.
I want to bring up
I
something
was on the golf
too.
course today.
We'll get back to that later.
It was a 7:55 tee time. You were occupied.
Hourly now.
But-
You're occupied.
It
You're
didn't
on the
have to
show.
be.
But
You're
something
on the
to
show.
note is the Pelicans are in the opposite situation of the Saints, is they have the Lakers pick, and the Lakers starting off horribly. So the Pelicans might get a top 3 pick just because the Lakers stink.
That was who was that? It was
The Pelicans got all of the Lakers.
Who was
future.
trolling? Who was trolling the Lakers? It was the guy who got called the strippers.
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce tweets that. He goes, "Oh, the Lakers are tanking for with the big 7'4" guy,
Wembanyama.
It's just Victor.
Wembanyama or whatever his name is, right?
I love that that's what's synonymous with Paul Pierce now. Is
strippers.
Not Boston Celtics.
I know
number
Paul
34.
Pierce. The Boston Celtics. He's a champion. He's really
They
good.
say one moment could do it to you.
Kodak.
But he comes out and he says, "Oh, I see what LeBron's doing. He's trying to play Wembanyama, whatever his name is, trying to take for him." He goes, "Oh, I forgot. Y'all don't have that pick anymore." Trolled him.
Oh, never mind.
Trolled him. Never mind. Just joking. You don't have that pick anymore. Trolling them. Pels are exciting. They play tonight in Phoenix. They're
9 o'clock
7.5
ESPN.
point underdogs.
They're going to kick that ass. It's all good.
Look, West Coast trips are tough. West Coast trips are very tough, but they're exciting brand of basketball. You see the Smoothie King Center packed. A lot of people are going. We got to find our way there at some point.
I wonder if Zion's going to play tonight.
I think we lost our plug.
He can find other pucks. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's playing. But
He's got a bruise.
let's go through the rest of these Heineken headlines. Jamar Chase sidelined for 4 to 6 weeks.
Not
The
going on the
Bengals
IR.
came out and said that they're going to hold off on putting a timetable on Jamar Chase's return because they feel like the way that he is made up as a human being, he may recover faster than most people. Basically saying he's just
Got
built
that dog
differently in real life.
He is him.
He is him, and so they're just not. He did play with the same injury against us. He got injured against the Saints. Played with the same injury last week, and he got 40 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. So I think he's gonna manage it. Hopefully, it doesn't take 4 to 6 weeks, but
I wish they
they
wouldn't
have enough weapons to hopefully.
I wish they wouldn't have said that. I'm not saying look, I get it. It's football. Like, everyone's hurt, right? And I don't expect him to be able to be 100% healthy to get back, but I wish they kind of give him a chance to feel right. Because in a sense, like, dude, look, I get it. Y'all want to win now. Everybody wants to win now, and your window is your window, right? But, like, guy has a long career.
Well, I also think this. I think that they've figured out their offense enough. Like they've gotten kind of in a groove.
It's
to
a
where
lot
they
of
don't
things.
need them back
And
right now.
my point is, like, there's a lot of things. Like, don't come out and say something like that because, like, don't put pressure on him and get back earlier than what he needs to get back.
And he's not your only guy, right?
No.
You have T. Higgins, who's really good, and you have Tyler Boyd, who is very good. He just hasn't had the opportunity to do what he's done the last few years. Now he's starting
We're
to.
not talking about a strained calf or
Yeah,
a
talking
strained
about
a hip's
tough.
hip's tricky and it's
Hip is
real
tough.
serious. Like if you really mess that thing up, it's a long recovery from
Yeah,
something like that.
No doubt. Today is Friday. Today is October 28th, which is NOLA Day.
It is his
Aaron
day.
Nola is on the bump today. Game 1 starter for the Phillies. World Series starts today in Houston, 7 o'clock. I would like to be there, but I'm not there. It'd be a very fun game to go to. I assume it's going to
What, they
be.
get the 13th game tonight? Is that what you want to?
What y'all gonna do over there?
Honestly, I'm proud to say that I don't have any plans. I think my plans, me and my wife are going to stay in tonight.
You should stay at Earls.
Try on your outfits
Come out to
for-
Earls, dude.
Yeah, we're going to stay in tonight.
Come out
Yeah.
to Earls, Trey
We'll
Yeah.
take our outfits off. Who knows?
Y'all gonna stay in tonight? That's cool.
Yeah, this
That's-
weekend.
Congrats on the sex,
This,
Mikey.
this
cool.
this week has whooped my ass. Maybe some dinner and then go home.
Don't be afraid to maybe, I don't know, open a patio door or something. Let the wind in.
Yeah, we've been there. A little breezy.
Poor
It's supposed to
Kobe.
be a little rainy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Jesus, Kobe just sitting there looking at y'all
Scratching
like,
at the door.
y'all for real? So we not gonna do nothing
I'm
tonight?
not gonna say it.
A doggy style.
Anyway, let's finish going down these.
Are you talking about
Obviously,
Kobe?
it is the
Mama
boys are off.
mentality.
Wow.
LSU is off this weekend. LSU and Alabama are off. It's a big recruiting weekend for both staffs. I know Brian Kelly, LSU football Instagram posted a tweet of Brian Kelly getting in a fire-ass car, just about to go. He's, I'm sure, on the road to go recruiting. I did see Brian Kelly on the craps table last night. Got a picture.
Oh, you were there?
You're breaking news
That's
right
why
now.
you're staying in tonight.
I wasn't there.
You gambled last night?
Was not
Wow.
Wow.
But
we got
I-
gambling money
I had
now?
a friend there. He sent me a picture. He said Brian Kelly must like the crap table. He was there.
He's got one. This guy's Dahmer. We got Dahmer.
Wow.
I'm gonna play you some videotapes.
Jeffrey Dahmer in the building.
If you're trying to get into the Alabama LSU game, good luck. One, it's starting to get back to that.
Like good luck. Lots of luck. I hope you get all the luck
I
together.
mean, I'm in that boat. I'm in that boat. Okay, trying to get tickets.
This is why Ali was mad.
This is it. This is where it comes.
This
to
is why he
play.
gets his
This
head
one
chewed
game.
off right here.
I'll figure it out.
That's what's gonna happen tonight.
I'll figure it
We
out.
always do. She doesn't, whatever.
I'll figure it out.
I won't speak
I'll get
about
my
it.
tickets.
Hey, I was circumcised twice. I survived.
Huh?
What?
It's just the facts. Doctor had to go back in.
Why did that come up?
I'm glad you're a good producer. You know, we just got to edit
I
things
don't
the
know.
right way,
I
you
don't know
know?
where that came up.
Just don't know where that
You said
came
you're gonna
from.
get your head chewed off, and we had just talked about him. Not,
What?
Where? That's not my fault.
Okay, well, that is definitely your fault. 100%.
You know what?
The
I'm
hype for
no
LSU
further
Alabama-
comment.
The hype for LSU
Twice?
Alabama is obviously growing. Is going to
Two?
be a big game. I'm assuming by the end of this weekend it'll be a top 15 matchup. There'll be some teams that are in the top 15 lose and get pushed out. LSU will get bumped
You're
up.
assuming or you're hoping?
I'm assuming because there's some top 15 matchups that are already going on. If the underdog loses, they're going to get kicked out of the top 15. Right?
Isn't Kentucky ahead of us?
No, they're 9. Oh, yeah. No,
Why they get
they're
kicked
behind
out?
us. They're
Ahead
19.
of us, aren't they? Aren't they 17? We're 18.
They're going to get
19.
kicked out
Penn
the club?
State get moved back after they lose to Ohio State. You got a couple other games.
Is Penn
in the
State
top
ranked
15.
right now?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because they've only lost one game. They got boat raced in that one game, but they've only lost one game.
They smashed Auburn.
Do y'all want the top 25? from
I would
the
like to
AP
see the
poll?
top 25.
We won't go all 25, but we'll go top 4, obviously, as of now. This is through October 23rd, so that's good. That's close as you can get. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Tennessee 3, Michigan 4, Clemson at 5, Alabama 6, TCU 7, Oregon 8. So that's kind of where you are. And
Can we just talk about this too? Like,
LSU is at 18, one spot ahead of Kentucky.
Can I just? There's only one team I want to talk about in that whole thing. It's crazy how short memory is. Like, do y'all not remember Week 1 when they got absolutely boat raced by Georgia? Do y'all not remember
Oregon.
that same quarterback in this league last year when he was bottom tier? Like, don't get me wrong, he smashed LSU last
He
year,
was shitty.
but he was a bottom tier quarterback
Yeah.
in this league, which is most likely why he's at.
And he was an
Oregon
Auburn.
right
He was
now.
an Auburn legacy. His dad played there. He was gonna be the guy.
So how on earth are we top 10 team again? Like, I get it. They're playing well over. That's why Lincoln Riley will do well there. They don't have to play.
they don't even play anybody.
They'll go there and they'll make
Lincoln
USC a
Riley,
powerhouse.
Lincoln
Yeah.
Riley going to USC is basically he's gonna just take what he did at Oklahoma,
And
and it's
bring it
basically
to
the
Los
Big
Angeles.
12
Yeah.
and the Pac-12. It's the same thing, right?
They'll go
Offense,
undefeated
Yeah.
at 1 loss, and they get boat raced in the playoffs.
no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt, right?
A little housekeeping here.
Housekeeping.
Obviously, there's a reason people are dressed up. There's a Halloween party tonight at Uncle Earls.
We said that.
Trey Gallman at 10 o'clock. Last call.
Trey
Bear.
Gallman, 10 o'clock.
But the only thing we failed to mention, just if you come here early, come here now, get your wristband. You
For
get
free.
You get a free wristband.
you get a free
and a free
wristband
drink.
and a free drink.
I think. I
And
think I just.
free
I think I may have just made the free drink up.
No, we got
We have the
we got a
tabs.
tabs.
Yeah, we
I mean,
I'll
not
give
for
you-
long. Look
we'll-
at these heathens over here.
We'll give you. We'll
Those
give
are
you a
my
free drink
people.
on our
All
tab.
right.
If you want to come out, hang out,
I don't
get
know
your
how
free.
I
Get
can't
your.
afford that
Listen,
anymore.
you don't want to. You don't
can
want
ask
to come in
James for a
here.
picture.
You don't
You
want to
won't
come
lie
in here
about his
when
identity.
No.
the line's too
Better know it, though.
long and you're trying to get in. You don't want to wait in line. Nobody likes that. Come get your wristband early. But LSU football had a big talk today with Drew Rosenhaus, super agent, was in town, giving a talk on NIL, along with Peter Wright, a financial guy.
Not Peter wrong.
Not Peter Wrong. He's Peter
There's a
Wright.
few other ones too. It was like a group of them.
Yeah.
There's
No, I
somebody
know.
from like Clutch Sports, and it was a big.
Peter's
thing.
reached that rank. It's so crazy. It's so good for him though.
Great for him.
Unbelievable.
Got a lot
for
of
him.
guys.
I feel like we saw the start of it, which is so crazy to see where it's
Yeah.
grown to.
Yeah, got a lot of guys. Apparently, there's some phantom Alvin Kamara trade rumors that Lloyd
Yeah, they got to
thinks are
chill.
real some reason.
I didn't
they
think
gotta
they were
chill.
real. I just thought it was an interesting conversation point that the Saints are down so bad at this point.
But they're
that-
not. They're
I don't
one
think
game
it's gonna
out.
happen, but the words I have heard is, I have heard that if Cam and Alvin are speaking up, you know things are not good right now because
Yeah.
apparently those two don't ever really say anything.
Right.
So I have heard that from inside sources that guys are pretty frustrated with how this thing's going,
No doubt. They should.
which they should be, obviously, right? But
What
that's-
are they frustrated with? Like what part? Obviously, you're not getting wins
I don't
on
think.
the field.
I don't think. Once again, let's just think of it this way. Sean Payton was here for 15 years. The Giants have been bad for however many years. We lose a coach. They gain a coach. We get bad. They get good. Coaching matters.
matters.
In a sense of, obviously, Dennis Allen is a really good DC. Just not convinced he's a general. That's all.
I think he's proven that.
It's hard
I'm
to
off
disagree
I'm off
with
That's
you.
all.
Bus.
But where would the Saints have gone? Would you can't?
I don't really think they could have done much. You got
Right.
hit. You can't plan for the coach saying, "Hey man, I'm
I'm
good.
out."
I'd
Yeah.
rather just not coach." You can't really plan for that. So I'm not really. I don't really think they're at fault in this situation. It's just you're finding out that maybe he's a better chief than a general. Or I can only say chief. Maybe he's a better.
I don't know. I mean, do you think
soldier than a
Lieutenant.
general.
Do you think he has a one?
Yeah,
you think
go.
he has a 1-year leash?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if they finish, let's just say if they finish 8-9, maybe not. But like, if the boat keeps going the way it is right now, yeah,
He's
it's
out.
possible. Yeah, I think
They're
so.
1.5.
But what
They're
do you-
1.5 point
But
dogs.
the
this
shitty
weekend.
part about it is now maybe you also lose the defensive side of the ball and that identity and what he does because he was good there. He's been good there. I don't really think that's unquestioned.
You can't
And-
demote him either. You can't put him back
But yeah,
down.
he ain't gonna go back
Why not?
down. I wouldn't imagine.
What if Sean comes back?
That's
Well,
that's
I mean, it's
also on
hard
the
to
table.
imagine
But
you get a head coaching job.
where the Saints are right now, they're one game back from the division.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's
That's what I'm saying.
So it makes
No, it's wide
we can-
Yeah,
open.
but they
for
haven't
sure.
proven you. They haven't proven to anybody that now every game but one has been close.
Now let me
Like,
tell
they
you
had a
this:
chance to win.
somebody wins that division at 9-8, and the next team is 7-10. that whoever that coach might be could be gone.
Yeah.
Literally that easy. You could finish in second and could be gone because you're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to make the wild card with that kind of record.
I feel like if you had to pick between two teams that were going to make an overhaul, it's definitely the Bucks over the Saints. They're about to get. I feel like Tom's not coming back. They're not going to. Who's their coach right now? It's not Bruce Arians. It is Todd Bowles, who's failed as a head coach before, kind of in that Dennis Allen, like, let's try, and maybe if we give him something that looks more ready to compete, he can do it. If you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan or if you're the Tampa Bay Bucks, that's probably more likely to go full rebuild than any of the other teams because if they finish second in the division, miss the playoffs, with Tom Brady, he's retiring.
Oh, the Bucks are going to bad spot.
I'll say this, and I really do believe this. Like, you look at the Panthers team, they lost McCaffrey. Who knows what happens with DJ Moore? But I think besides Baker, actually they're out of two quarterbacks. I do think that the Bucks and the Saints, if you just look at the division, are both missing way more of their key players than the other two teams in the division.
Yeah.
It's tough to be good like that. And they're not all out for the year, but I do think that both of them have a chance of making some sort of a run once they get healthy again. They're not healthy right now. Hurts. It sucks.
Sucks. It's tough.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully
part of the deal, though. That's part of the game.
You go out and you beat the Raiders this weekend. You're back on track because you're in a position with a bad division likely to put yourself in a spot.
And that's what's so crazy is because both of these seasons have gone, like if you talk about LSU and you talk about the Saints, they've kind of gone the same way but in different, but like two ships passing in the night to where you're not this excited about LSU if they don't come back in all of these games, but they've always been in semi-close games, at least to start, where you're down and out, nothing good's going your way. Like, there's a world where everything that's happened for the LSU could have happened for the Saints, where they're sitting in the driver's seat at 6-2, and it's like, oh man, they learned how to win the close ones, and that's what makes me concerned about LSU going into Alabama. Is there's just no way, I've never seen it in my life, a team that consistently starts slow like this, where it doesn't bite you in the ass. Like Tennessee, you can wash that away. I don't even think that doesn't even account for a slow start because they were still in that game. But what happened at Ole Miss, like, massive comeback. Like, that's a huge comeback to be able to stall them. Same thing for Mississippi State for sure, and for Auburn, where you're down 17 and like you're better than this team. I don't even know where it's coming from.
Can somebody put that down? I'm gonna ask him to put it down.
I'll do it.
Keep going with your conversation.
That was my conversation. I was just saying that the Saints and LSU, as bad as it is for the Saints right now, LSU is the opposite. But the margins of victory are so slim in college football and in the NFL to where we're looking at the Saints like fire sale, get rid of everybody, and LSU like maybe Jayden Daniels is going to win the Heisman. I'd love for him to come back. Like the way that you talk about two teams just because of.
Well, you're talking about two teams of wins and losses.
Right, but the margin of victory are so small, and they're like the Saints aren't that bad.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the NFL so hard.
They're not fire your head coach bad.
Yeah, but that's what makes the NFL so hard. If you don't win those games, it's not. And a lot of these conversations aren't because of what actually happens on the field. It's what happens behind the scenes, right? Like obviously, there's a gap in message, or there's a gap in.
Well, we said the same thing about LSU. They had back-to-back weeks of players-only meetings, and it's like, oh, where's the lack of communication? Where's it coming from? Why is this necessary? And then you see they figured it out, and now the Saints are doing the same thing, and it's
college and NFL are way different.
I agree with you there.
Did you hear what?
But football isn't that different.
I'm trying to think of the conversation that I was listening to. Oh, it was McAfee and them were talking about it, and they're like. Aaron Rodgers was doing an interview, and it was McAfee and A.J. Hawk, and they were talking about what's going on with the Packers, and and Aaron Rodgers talking about we just everybody needs to be on the same page, like we need to get on board until people start doing the things that they need to do, we're gonna go. And A.J. Hawk goes, how do you fix that? Do you have a players only meeting? And they all started laughing, and they're like, no. It's the last thing to do. So my point is, players-only meetings are only for people that aren't involved in the program to think that something else is going on that is going on. Like it's players-only meetings don't really hold that much weight. I mean, maybe like specific like player like groups.
I'll say this.
What if Russell Wilson had players?
I'll
No,
say
I don't
this.
think anybody
See,
shucks
and
that
I'm
one.
glad you said that though, because I'll say this. I don't think it is very few players' meetings, in my opinion, that actually hold weight. Because sadly, a lot of times these players' only meetings are called by, and it really doesn't matter what position, it doesn't matter how long you've been on a team. A lot of the times it's called by somebody that you're like, who's calling this player's
Right,
meeting?
right.
And then they end up not holding the weight they should.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I think the kind of kicker. And there is no real like guideline for it. You just know, right? Like, as soon as they say, hey, somebody said such and such said this is the players' meeting, you're like, all right, it's real. Such and such said this is the players' meeting. You're like,
Yeah.
Come on.
And I'm by no means saying the Saints season's over with.
Yeah.
Like, by any means. Like, I think that they are in a position. I mean, our producer's just hanging out at the bar right now.
producers not producing right
Not
now.
producing.
I'll slide over.
The Saints season is not by any means over. You know what I mean? Like,
No, not at all.
They are in a position to win the game. I mean, to win games, and they're in a position to be at the top of the division because the division's not good, right? So it's a big weekend though. If you lose this weekend,
Well,
you've got to make up some ground.
we said this before. Obviously, you'd love to be on the other side of it, but like at this point, if you keep digging the hole deeper, it's really, really tough to crawl out of it, right? You'd love to be, 5-2, and being like, oh, this is a big weekend because we can get to 6-2. It's tougher on the other way around.
Yeah.
When you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole that you probably shouldn't be.
What was your conversation about Jayden today?
So I mean, if we're gonna jump to that, that's
Let's
fine.
jump to it. We're already in football talk.
So
So I don't have to do anything.
we've talked about this already. We kind of brought it up before, right? What are your thoughts on, like, I mean, it's pretty much assumed, even at this point, still today, that the keys go to Walker next year, right?
Absolutely.
Who your
I'm not
thoughts?
saying, yeah, but that's
So I'm convinced, and this is just me. I'm not saying he's going to score 9 touchdowns in the next 2 week windows again, like however many he had in those last 2 weeks. My point is if you get similar play throughout the rest of the season, whether it's win or losses, how on earth do you give the keys to Jayden? To Walker next year?
I'm not disagreeing with you
Because I truly don't believe if you get similar play through the rest of the year, especially with the quarterbacks on the board already, I don't think he leaves.
But here's
But I
my
also
next.
don't know
But
how
here's my
much-
next thing.
How much can he really boost his stock? I'm not saying that because of his play. I'm saying that because of like his build, his play
No.
style. Like,
This is my
his-
point.
His
That's
projectability.
the reason
I'm
why
with
I'm
you.
saying it
I'm
is
with you. I
because
get it.
I don't think he leaves after the year, no matter how good the rest of the year is.
Because you can't improve his stock. So if you
So-
can't improve your stock, why not go back
So
and
if he comes
play
back,
football,
how
college
do you
football
give
another
the
year?
keys to Walker next year if you get this going into the year?
I think it's a competition. I don't think it's.
I don't really think it's that much of a competition. I'm just being completely honest.
I don't think it's going to be a completely closed book. I think there's obviously, a
My
favorite.
point to this is if you get the same kind of play through the rest of the year, what do you say is the catalyst for the way that they played through the rest of the year? What would you say would be the catalyst for the way they played through the rest of the year if you get what you got over the last few weeks?
because of him.
Okay, so then it's very hard to say we have a quarterback competition when the catalyst is in question.
But
Look.
that's where Jack points come in. If he plays this well,
How much can he improve his stock with another year?
yeah, and especially with what you're
My
seeing,
thing is,
But my
yeah,
point is
go.
not really about his play. My point is like
his ceiling.
NFL drafts, like, especially quarterbacks, like you see Will Levis, you see Richardson from Florida, like they're up in the first round mostly because of their projectability, not necessarily because of their production. Where Jayden is production, like they might think that's his cap out just because he's not projectable.
And he may
quote, unquote.
he may be a guy that I don't know takes the money or whatever
Or
round it is at least.
they may turn him into another position. They may
I'm
put him
just
as a wide
saying
receiver.
in the sense that he
What do
says
you mean, no?
in the sense that he says I'm coming back. How do you hand the keys to Walker?
No, I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree with
disagreeing.
that.
I think that, and the only way you do it is
My
if he
point is I
comes
just
out
don't
and
think
he
he's
is
coming
just
back.
head and shoulders more advanced and doing different things. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's the only way that you would consider it. I'm with you. What were you going to say?
A couple of things here to what you're saying. If he continues to play this well, he's going to be in the Heisman conversation, which
Right?
means
Said that. We
Yeah,
talked about
yeah,
that. We
yeah.
talked about that Monday.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll be in the Heisman conversation. He probably won't win it, but once you get into that elite status of college football, I don't know why he would come back. And if he does come back, we all know the LSU fan base. They're biting tooth and they're chomping at the bit for Walker, he'll be the most maligned starting quarterback at LSU, no matter what he does, because everybody is so excited to see Walker Howard play.
Yeah, but
it'll be Garrett Nussmeier times 10.
Also, with LSU fans, they're
so excited about this.
They want to win.
Yeah.
And if Jayden Daniels wins this year and he comes back and he's in the Heisman conversation, and he doesn't go pro, like, they aren't going to be calling for him to get out because of what he did the year before. Like, that's just the way it is, right? Like, it's just
so.
Yeah,
as much as you want someone in there,
year.
they want them to win.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, I'm literally like, put your eyes to it, right? Like, we're watching the game. We're watching a.
Master
Don't get me
at work.
wrong. He's gotten better. He's putting up better numbers. But we're watching what was a pretty much consensus like top receiver pick be underwhelming right now, right? From what I've heard is when you turn on the tape, he's always open. Okay? So if he's always open on the tape, who's not getting him the ball? Okay? But the last 2 weeks, if you look at the guy that's quote unquote not getting him the ball, his numbers are great. My point is if he keeps playing this way, I'm not sure how sold NFL scouts are on him as a player.
I'm with you.
Right. So with that being said, doesn't matter if he's in Heisman talks, if that draft grade, if that stuff ain't great, and he doesn't have to leave and he comes back, how could you hand the keys to Walker? And it doesn't matter how good Walker looks in camp. How could you hand the keys to him?
Here's my next question. Why did you shake your head at the fact that he could be a quarterback, a position change?
Because I think if you look at the way the NFL is going, everybody saw Lamar Jackson last
I
night.
don't. Dude.
What's the difference between the two? To be honest, like
What's the difference?
What do you
no,
mean?
no, let me finish.
What's the difference?
The project. Have you seen Jayden Daniels in the open field? He's doing this in the
Have you-
SEC.
but
If
the
you put him on
difference-
Louisville,
the difference is Lamar has way more arm talent.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
yeah, to an extent. But I'm saying the way that the NFL is going right now, they're trying to build. Look at who the Titans drafted, Malik Willis.
Yeah, but-
look at
yeah,
who's
but-
starting quarterback
yeah,
for
but
the only undefeated team in the NFL.
You're only focusing on the legs.
No, but I think Jayden can do both. You can get him to a spot where he can do both.
Listen, Jayden has the ability. He has the ability to do both fine right now. I don't think that he has the arm talent for NFL teams to fit in tight windows. That's just. I'm not saying knocking him. I don't know. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen him say.
I saw it against Tennessee early on. Like he was throwing into tight windows that were early.
window-
They were. Would you not say that those were closed window throws that he was making? He was finally taking opportunities.
But that,
where
I'm talking about.
he's not elite at it.
I'll just say this. Look, let me just say this. When you saw, the type of, I guess, like meteoric rise we're talking about is pretty similar to, if you will, a Joe Burrow, right? I think it's very easy to say when you watch Joe play in college and you watched his college tape and you watched the throws and plays he made, you were like, that's what it quote unquote looks like in the NFL. I think it was a lot easier to sell that ticket than it is to sell this ticket right
And
now.
I'm not knocking Jayden.
And it's not a knock
I've
on
been,
him
I've
at
been
all.
Jayden's biggest fan this year. Like,
My
I've been
point,
the one saying
dude,
that
like,
he's a
yeah,
fuck.
it's not a knock on him. Like, they knocked Lamar down. Like, they
Right.
said Lamar couldn't play. They asked
Right.
him to come to the
Right.
combine as a receiver.
And the only reason why I say, hey, maybe a position change would be in the future is because how elite of a runner he is and
But-
how elite of a guy making guy miss an open field he is. It's fine. But if you don't have the ability to throw the football to the extent that the NFL needs you to throw the football, it's going to be hard for those legs to work in the NFL.
So, back to my question. If play continues to be the same, everyone is already assuming this is Walker Howard's team next year. If his play continues to be the same and he comes back, who's the quarterback next year?
I
Listen,
think it's
I'm
Jayden.
glad I don't have to make that decision.
Yeah. Well, no, like I agree with you. My personal opinion is I don't see really a point in him coming back unless his draft grades are just really bad.
Okay.
The only point in him coming back is literally that he's not put ahead of the already top quarterback prospects, which I'm not sure that he would be,
Well,
even if he continues to play this way the rest of the year. That's just my guess.
So
I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
looking at projections from what Lamar did at Louisville in the ACC, and you can pick any kind of year you want. I will do is it fair to do freshman year, sophomore year, junior year for Lamar, considering this is Jayden's first year in the system? Like they're not that different.
I'm not talking about. I don't care about the stats though. The
Well,
stats
but you have
Did
to.
Lamar win the Heisman that year or no? He
won.
didn't win it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he won the Heisman his junior
did?
year.
Did he win the Heisman?
Yeah.
Okay, so that becomes different too. Like he actually won the Heisman that year.
I'm not talking about the stats. Like the stats are are going to be great. I'm not worried
No,
about that.
I'm just talking about comparability between the two. I mean, you're at.
But that's not where the comparison lies in the stats. The comparison lies on like the talent, like the actual like measurables and like the arm strength and like
They
that's
measure the same.
how do you say that? Like, what if you like?
No, I'm talking about measurables. They're the same height and weight. They're not like that.
I'm
I'm gonna be honest with you.
about the way he
I'm
throws
gonna be
the
honest with you.
football.
I'm gonna be
And
completely
they don't
honest
run.
with you.
Jayden Daniels can fly.
Hey, I'm
Lamar
gonna be
Jackson's
completely honest
illegal.
with you. Good, bad, or indifferent. However it's seen, when I watch Lamar play and when I watch Jayden play, I don't see the same player.
No, I don't.
And I don't mean it in a bad way.
I'm taking into account the level of competition that they're going against. He did in the ACC for Louisville. You saw what it took for Jayden Daniels to be able to do this in the SEC. That holds water, right?
But
You're playing in the
Lamar's
best
doing
league
it
in
no
college
doubt,
football.
but we're the biggest thing in that we're missing the biggest thing in the NFL for a quarterback is being able to throw balls in windows that aren't open, right? And have the arm strength to do it. There's a lot of quarterbacks that have not been able to do that have a lot of success in the NFL.
There's a reason
Not
Lamar
even
doesn't
the arm
have a,
strength, the
there's a
actual
reason Lamar doesn't have a
anticipation to do it.
contract right now. They think the same
Hey,
thing.
I don't question his arm strength to do the tight window throws. I question the anticipation, and I think that
Right.
that's going to be one of his bigger
I
downfalls.
question both. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, that's great, but we're not going to
Yeah.
sit here and act like the
I'm
best
not
quarterbacks.
saying he has the weakest arm in the world.
No. I'm just saying we're not going to sit here and act like the best quarterbacks in history have all been
No.
strong arm quarterbacks.
No. I
Anticipation matters
No doubt.
a lot more
No
than
doubt.
just arm strength.
And mobility
Can you
has
place
never,
it there?
Mobility has never mattered more.
Yeah.
I'm not
I think-
disagreeing with that part of it.
See, I
I'm
think at
just
the end of the
think that
day,
it's just,
at the end of the day, whether he comes back or not, whoever the quarterback is, as long as they win, it won't matter. Like you saw it this year, like everybody was calling for us, and all of a sudden we started winning, and
That's-
I haven't heard
that's-
since
that
day
is
in
the
Listen,
biggest
winning
one.
cures all.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, if he
We agree,
is
though.
on the roster next year,
We agree. I think
He's the
I haven't heard
incumbent.
anybody
yeah, that's
disagree
what I
that.
was wondering.
I don't know who the starting quarterback is. I mean, I would assume he is going to be the guy unless something outrageous happens and it's like night and day. It's not even close to who's running this offense better. But again, I
But
don't
at
have
the
to
same,
make a
but
decision.
to his point, Walker's never done it in a game.
No doubt, I get that.
All right, like I don't think, I think there's literally zero way you could give it to Walker if he continues to play
Yeah.
this way, in the neighborhood of this way, and is on the roster next year.
That would be the toughest decision to Brian Kelly early on in his
Because you know what his
tenure.
plan was.
No,
but
Like
that could change.
there's just no way you could Tua Jalen
Well,
Hurts
that's what it
before the
reminds,
season started.
that's what it reminds me of.
Like, but doing it
Well, it's a
before the
little
season
different
starts is
'cause-
like,
Right.
well, it's a
what?
little different
Yeah.
because Tua was a true freshman.
Yeah, I know, but like that. But as far as like talent and
time,
stuff,
yeah.
like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it reminds
As
me.
far as for success on the field and then no playing time, like that's
In projectability, like Saban looked at
Yeah.
Tua and said, "Hey,
We know
I'm
he's
looking
the
at
guy.
both these guys. Like Tua,
one's gonna be really good, the other one's gonna win us a natty.
Which
Yeah.
one's better in the NFL?
exactly."
And which one's better in the NFL?
Undecided. so
Tua's
far,
been good when he
yeah.
started.
I think it's
this
undecided,
year?
man. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
Tua's
undecided.
hasn't played in a few weeks.
Yeah,
I think
I
you're
know.
falling to the real
No doubt.
narrow.
I'm not
narrative.
I'm not a Jalen
undecided on
Hurts
that.
fan. I wasn't a big fan
No,
of.
I know,
I
but
am
I'm
a Jalen Hurts
undecided
fan,
on.
but-
I'm under.
I mean,
I don't.
Tua's been
I don't
out.
buy into
That
what
play-
they've done to
that-
Tua and how
Me
they've displayed Tua.
But that's part of it. Like that's.
No,
part.
it's not. It ain't part of it.
My-
But
Tua's played well this year when he's
realize?
on the field.
Boy, do you realize what
He got
Tua
his
had
head
last year?
bounced off
He had the worst offensive line in the game. His number one receiver didn't play 90% of the games. The other guy, the big free agent sign they had, literally said, "I got a neck and thumb injury," and he didn't play at all. Will Fuller. Who the fuck was he throwing to? A rookie. That's all he had, and he had no running back.
I wasn't talking about his. The way he plays the game, he does a little bit of what Jayden Daniels does also, where he doesn't want to stretch it down the field that much. Like he
Because
doesn't
Tua
take-
don't have a big arm, but
Right.
he don't need a big arm.
Right, but what,
Especially in the offense now. This offense is the best thing for him.
Yeah.
Right,
And,
but-
he's
but-
still got a player that's out
But,
running him.
but what's your
what
best-
he does do is he has great anticipation.
Unbelievable.
He's extremely
anticipation.
accurate.
And
at
he's
football.
really accurate.
But what's your best ability?
Availability is what he's looking for.
I know what he's saying. I get what he's saying, 100%. But nobody's got much availability if you ain't got nobody blocking up front. I'm going to be honest with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, oh, he's not tough when he's got his skull bounced off the
Well,
turf.
Tua's not mobile. Like he can't. If you don't.
Neither is
give-
Tom.
Look at how it's happening.
He said Tua's not mobile. I said neither is Tom.
Or Drew.
What do you mean? Look at how he's been in it for 20 plus.
I know, but look at what happens when he doesn't have a good offensive line. He doesn't have people to throw to.
Tom's never had mobility. That's my point. You have to have things around you. You got to. It doesn't matter.
Well, you just said
And
Tom's
also,
never
I mean,
had anything
unless-
around him.
I mean,
No, I said Tom's never had mobility. You saying
And
look
he
at
never had
Tom like when
weapons,
he had
really.
okay. Everyone's gonna look normal when everyone's gonna see ghosts and look normal when people are in your face all day as a quarterback.
Yeah, if you don't,
I don't care
have
who
any
you are.
protection as a
Did you see
quarterback,
Lamar play the last month? His mobility didn't really fucking matter. He couldn't throw the ball.
Matter
And
last
I
night.
got a question. So you're saying Jalen's better? Well, has Jalen been the reason they're winning every game, or is it a mix of the defense,
He's
the
been a
run
huge
game?
part of it.
Well, yeah, but it's not the
You know,
Jalen
and
show.
I'm not sold
It's
on it.
been
It's
the
literally.
it has 100% been the Jalen show.
Yeah, I
Like
don't know about
everything about the everything about how the offense is running off based off of how he plays, right? Your run game gets better because you have to respect
Not
his
sold on
legs.
that, dude.
Your pass game gets easier because people are open because you're.
I'm not sold on it. They have the best O line in the game. They got great perimeter
And a good
No,
defense.
they
Tell you
do.
what, Howie Roseman did a very good
They have,
job of
they
putting
have the
together a
best
team
O
around
line
him,
in the
for
game
sure.
right now.
I'm talking
They
about
have-
LSU.
Who?
You said Jalen.
You
Oh, I
said
meant Jayden. I'm
Jalen,
sorry.
Oh, I was
Hurts.
gonna say, yeah, you said Jalen. I'm
My
gonna
bad.
say
Jalen.
I mean, shit. I mean, one letter.
no,
Yeah.
actually,
Two.
but
I guess.
The conversation
No,
was
actually,
actually talking about both, and you said,
Yeah.
I mean, that,
Yeah, that's not bad.
But no, I was saying
JD5.
like the Eagles have a good run game, a good defense that he kind of builds around. It's not like he's sitting there like Drew Brees on the Saints where it's all on his shoulders. Is what I'm saying.
obviously Jayden is the biggest reason why LSU's offense is moving the way it's moving, right?
Yeah.
Wow, we're jumping
because he has the ball in his hands every game. The reason why he's been able to be successful and make that adjustment for me is the offensive line.
They
Right?
play
The
a lot
offensive
better.
line has been playing
They
a
play
lot better.
We get
He's
Dellinger
had a
back
lot-
for Bama.
He's had a lot more
hopefully.
protection. He's had a lot more time, and which in turn has allowed the running game to run. So now you're not relying just on him scrambling and making plays with his feet. Now you can start incorporating actual designed runs with him. It's amazing the change in perception from the first 3 games this season on how Lloyd was speaking about Jayden Daniels to now. Now, I'm not saying in a bad thing.
I don't think he was talking about Jaden. He was talking about the offense in general, not really Jaden specifically.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever said about what
We
to
were
do with-
blaming Denbrock for a while.
Yeah,
That's what we
that,
were.
well,
We
the
were
only
on
thing
the
I was
Denbrock.
saying, there was some fault on Jayden for sure, but the only thing I was saying is make an offensive scheme that makes it easier on him as opposed to they tried to do early on a lot of pro-style stuff from shotgun that didn't suit Jayden. There was not a lot of designed runs. It was a lot of 1-2, look
Last
and take
week,
off.
even
I
the,
don't know
even
what
the
I'm looking
designed
at.
runs were pretty
Basic.
Last week
Now
was
you're
the
doing-
first week that they actually used design runs.
And now you're doing stuff off of stuff
Yeah.
that puts the defense in conflict that makes Jayden Daniels
Right.
lethal. And
Right.
that's why, I don't want to compare him to Lamar, but he's that extra offensive player you have all
for
of
sure.
a sudden.
That I
that's-
agree with. That I agree with. But I mean,
He's got a higher completion percentage than Lamar had in college. And I understand, Lamar has an electric arm. I would say Jayden's probably more accurate than Lamar is. There's things that he does well in college. There's things that give him 3 years in the NFL to develop. Shit, you got to give him the chance if he's going to go there.
some people don't get 3 years in the NFL to develop.
It
you don't
depends
get
on
that.
when you get drafted. And
Some
you can
people,
see
and
why
some people still don't get that. Jamarcus Russell didn't get 3 years in the NFL to get drafted. I mean, to get developed.
Jamarcus would love to
Yeah, what,
tell
one
his.
start?
Yeah.
1 year.
Had 2. Got hurt.
I wouldn't even say it was a real year.
Yeah.
No, well, he had no chance to succeed. Lane Kiffin literally told Al Davis,
Yeah.
he goes, please don't draft Jamarcus Russell. We're not ready to have a rookie quarterback. I'm not ready to try to put all of this on a rookie quarterback with the first overall pick. If you can trade it, do it. Let's build this thing from the ground up. He's like, I'm taking Jamarcus. He's like, I'm fucked. And that's what happened, and Lane Kiffin was out within 2 years.
Yep.
He was, 33 as a head
But I
coach of
think
the
Kiffin had a lot
NFL?
of learning to do at that stage too.
He wasn't ready.
The Lane Kiffin you got then is not the Lane Kiffin you're getting right now.
No.
He's a much better,
Oh, that's-
probably person and coach.
Well, but that's Lane Kiffin being self-aware and being like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
he was
I'm
aware.
not ready for this job." Much less Jamarcus, who I don't know, never talked to him. You're going to draft him, and now you're going to start him. It's like we have a lot to figure out before we get to first overall pick. Jamarcus Russell's going to save the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
How did we get to that? Oh, you're talking about Jayden
Jayden
Daniels having 3 years to develop in the NFL.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get 3 years. It's tough. If you're not
Shit,
a
look
top
at
pick,
look
you're
at
not
Geno
gonna-
Smith.
You're not gonna get. If you're not a top pick, you're not gonna get 3 years to develop. But I am very happy with how he's been playing. I have been his biggest supporter throughout the course of the year. People have been calling for him
I
to
don't
be
think there's
benched.
been 2 people more on the get off of Jaden's
Than me
back
and you.
than you and I.
No doubt.
The whole year.
No doubt.
No, the whole year.
I was in that number. How could you say I wasn't? You find me a quote.
I think you may have had 2 feet in the boat, but was touching the water to see
I was
the water
throwing the
fine.
buoy back in the boat to make sure we can push
How's
off.
this feel? Because if I jump in, I just want to know I'm not going to
Who the
freeze.
fuck was LSU gonna go without him? That you named
Nussmeier.
You were talking about Nuss. You did talk about Nuss a little bit. You did talk about having Nuss be the starter.
Not necessarily. What I said was, that y'all are misconstruing the conversation. The conversation was LSU needs to get the ball to its playmakers. Okay, if that's such an emphasis to get the ball out in space and get it to all these electric guys around you, there's an obvious pick, the one guy that throws it, one guy that wants to run it. If that's the narrative that you want to push, and you want to be all in on getting the ball to Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. and Kayshon Boutte, if that's the way you want to play it, and you want to put in somebody that obviously doesn't feel comfortable in the system yet either, then go with the guy that's going to throw it first. If you want to continue to win football games, the way it may be ugly, Jayden Daniels is your answer, and it turns out
that second part did not come out.
absolutely it did.
You just say win games.
This
Yes,
is
I
not
did.
how you said this earlier.
I said this after the Tennessee
No, you
game,
were like,
and
hey,
going,
we need-
Tennessee, no,
you
we're
were
talking
in-
about before that. I'm talking
and
about
going
before
into
that.
the Tennessee game.
I was
No,
talking about before that, earlier in the season.
Before the Tennessee game, literally early in the season, after Florida State, before the game, you were more on the train of maybe we need a better ball distributor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we were more on the train of try to distribute the ball when you're seeing ghosts all day. Ain't nobody distributing the ball like that.
I was with you. I agree 100%. I don't think this is revisionist history. This is literally what I was saying because I've been defending Jayden Daniels from day one. Once you're named the starter, you're the starter. So that's the guy I'm going to rock with. There was no, put Walker in, put Nuss in.
But we knew Walker was
Right.
Not gonna
for
play
good
that.
reason too.
He ain't ready. And don't do it to him.
He just doesn't need
There's no reason to
give
have
him
to
some
put him in
seasoning.
there. Yeah,
Don't
there's
do
no reason to have
don't
to
do
put
it
him
to
in there right now.
Yeah,
because
right.
it's that easy to ruin a quarterback, and it's very, very
It's
hard
like
and
cooking
long to
food.
get him back to being right mentally.
Let that
don't do it to
marinate.
him.
Yeah,
There was no
don't
reason
just-
to do it,
don't
and
just
that's no
throw it on the
knock on
grill.
him. This is a very, 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 very tough league to play as a freshman, at the quarterback.
You know what else has helped LSU? Talked about all the recruits that they had and all of the transfers that they brought in, right? LSU, they came out with an article. Yahoo Sports, not Yahoo Finance. That got Drew Brees in trouble.
Made him retire.
Made him retire.
Y'all
Yahoo
should
Sports.
do the meme together.
They're ranking the top transfers in the portal. LSU, out of all the transfers, has 3 of the top transfers in the portal. Number 16 on the list is Mikie Garner. Talking about the cornerbacks and how good Mikie Garner has been, not the other guy who came in from Oklahoma State. Mikie Garner's from UL, which is awesome. He is, based off the stats, is allowing 28.6% of passes to be completed. Number 8 in all of football as a cornerback. Number 20 on that list is obviously Jayden Daniels, right? He's doing his thing. And number 25 on that is Greg Brooks. So 3 guys.
I'd put Greg Brooks higher than
Yeah,
that.
I know.
I feel like he's been our low-key kind of our best.
Best defensive player that's not on the D-line.
Yeah. Like
There's a little bit of everything.
before these last 2 weeks, I think it would have been easy to say he's been our best one.
Yeah.
And now
So-
I think the conversation would change to Jayden. But I think before that he's been standout on defense.
I mean, with that, you have 2 guys in the secondary, which we didn't really know about the secondary. That was the biggest question mark going in. 2 guys from the transfer portal have been very good, and then the quarterback position was the other big question mark, and you got a guy in the transfer portal.
And I'll say this too, which
Who's been very
I
good.
personally think has a little bit to do with it, is Greg came from within the league, so he had a good bit of experience in this league and the speed of it and how it's played. So I think that helped him, the quote unquote curve for him, if you will.
It goes to my argument about Jayden coming from the Pac-12 to the SEC. There's a learning curve there, and credit to him for being able to adjust on the fly like this. And you can see that. I know that there's like the analogy of like, the light bulb turned on or whatever. It's evident that both Brian Kelly, Mike Denbrock, and Jayden are now all on the same page as to what the offense is going to look like. And I also feel like they've taken things from other teams that they've seen throughout the week. Like, they've taken plays from Ole Miss and used them against Ole Miss, where they're like, we could do some of that. They saw what Tennessee did. Like, we could do some of that.
I'll say this, and I've kind of been singing this from the beginning of the season. Usually, usually when you have a quarterback who is somewhat run first, if you will, likes to use his legs, right?
Dual threat.
You're putting dual threat, obviously, yeah. You're putting a lot of opportunity for decisions on him, right? And the one thing I've been very, very impressed with from the start is maybe he's gotten out the pocket too early. Maybe he's missed some throws. Maybe he's missed some reads. But with all the decisions to be made, that he's done a very good job of never taking us out of games in the sense of turning the ball over.
And I think that's why he was so hesitant to throw it downfield early on, because he didn't know what he was looking at. If you watch,
Right.
I've been going back and watching like LSU Gold, which I think is unbelievable. Not our product, whatever. Go spend the $15.99 it costs to have it for a month.
$9.
That's $5 more that grew over.
You want it for me? It's not $9.99. But you can see him going to the line at Florida State. He's making every check, every call. And I think the unsung hero here is who they put at center in Charles Turner, and helping him be able to, all right, let's calm down. He knows what he's looking at too, instead of me having to adjust the entire offensive line, get the receivers in position. All of this has made a massive difference, and it's a testament to Brian Kelly finding the right guys for the right position, putting in a true freshman at left tackle. Emory Jones also makes a massive difference because it allowed you to shift everybody over. You saw what happened when Will Campbell got hurt against it, like before going into the Tennessee game. That was an automatic bet on Tennessee game, because who else is going to play left tackle for you? We haven't practiced anybody else there.
Right.
So the offensive line play has massively improved. Then you get somebody like Josh Williams who's able to step in, also help you with checks in the backfield, like, hey, bro, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. And that just helps you as a quarterback not have to 8, 7, 6. Wait, you're supposed to be on this side of me. Like, everything has slowed down so much for the LSU offense. It's made a massive difference.
It just allows
No, I'm
you to
with
do
you.
your job.
So here's some stats I'm going to go through, right? We're talking about Jayden Daniels, talking about how electric he is as a runner, right? PFF College. Say what you want about PFF. Their stats. They do a very good job of putting out stats. Putting out stats, right? So, as a rusher among all quarterbacks, now, obviously, there's not all quarterbacks are going to run, whatever. So, 643 yards rushing, that's ranked first. 88.8 yards rushing grade, ranked first. 378 yards after contact, he's ranked first. He has forced 31 missed tackles, ranked first. So, to your point, he is electric as a runner. We all knew that, right? The development is not having to use those legs always. It's using those legs when you're called upon.
Not choosing to
use your legs. Yes. And I think that goes into his development. If you're that good as a rusher, obviously you're going to want to run.
Yeah.
But to make you that much more effective as a rusher, you need to be able to pass and then run when you absolutely have to. Not run and then pass because you have to pass.
Yeah.
So, kudos to Jayden, man. He's made an adjustment. This is going to be his biggest test yet. This week against Alabama, obviously you can say what you want about Alabama's defense. Our next,
They're up and down.
They have talent. They have a lot of guys. You can say that, they're gettable this year. You can go and move the ball. But they're still Alabama. They have a week to prepare. They have, a good defensive coordinator, a head coach who's known for his defense. Like, they're going to be ready. So this is going to be his toughest test yet. We're going to see how it happens. Hopefully, he continues to do what he's been doing, and LSU goes out there and
Tigers by 50.
shocks the world. Tigers by. I'd be good with Tigers by 1.
Yeah.
I'd be good with that. All right, let's switch gears.
I'll be good with Alabama by 16.
Oh, the cover.
Not
Oh yeah, and Shaq is gonna be in town.
Shaq is DJing on Friday.
Which I will be at after.
I hope so.
Earls.
I would hope so. Shaq. I wonder if Shaq's gonna bench press a cheerleader again, like he did that one time on the field.
She graduated from my high school.
Did she?
Yeah, that's like her claim to fame now.
Nice. Well, I'm sure that was fun. Let's switch gears. Let's switch gears to baseball. It's football season, but it's the World Series.
It is the World Series.
You gotta talk about the World Series. You have 2 LSU guys
One on
in
the
the
hill
World
tonight.
Series. 2 prominent LSU guys in the World Series. Both were teammates. Room together for a year at LSU.
Were they the
Obviously,
last
Alex-
people to make it to Omaha from LSU?
What?
Last person to make it to Omaha from LSU, huh? Bregman's year?
17 they were in Omaha.
Oh yeah, you're right.
17 they were in the finals.
Yeah, you're right. Kramer and them.
What?
Eric Walker? No,
Kramer and them senior
the
year.
pitcher that got hurt.
Eric Walker
freshman.
got hurt that year.
That he couldn't pitch in the Florida series.
Yeah.
That's what kind of derailed the entire thing. He was electric.
I mean, he was a
He was
dotter.
Greg Maddox,
Yeah, he didn't throw very hard, but
No,
he
but
could
that,
dot it
I
out.
just that kind
That
of
was
pitching
Zach
style
Hess,
will
though, in the
always
Heat
impress
that
me.
year.
Now, let's be careful when we start saying he was a Greg Maddox, because when Greg Maddox got to MLB, he was 95, making balls do this. So, but Greg Maddox at 45, maybe.
That's how I remember him.
Yeah. With the let's move it to
I feel
88.
like Aaron did the exact opposite of Greg. He started throwing harder once he got the Pro Bowl.
No doubt.
And still making balls do this.
Yeah. So he gets the game 1 start, which is awesome. Because I thought Wheeler was going to get the start because he got
He got the
game
start,
1
the game
start in the
was started.
NLCS.
Yeah.
He didn't get it. Nola is facing Verlander. Tough matchup for Knowles. He's
But let's make no mistake about it. And I'm not saying you don't know that, but for the casual listener, I'm not saying he's Verlander, but he's elevated himself to a premier starter in the league.
Oh, no doubt.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
doubt.
saying
No doubt.
I'm not saying
Like-
you don't know that. You obviously know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like he's
my
all
Braves.
he's all of that. You know
He's
what
an
I mean?
all-star. Like
Yeah.
he is legit right
He
now.
beat the Braves. That's as legit as you can get.
This guy over here.
Unbelievable.
I love your fandom for the Braves. I do.
Does Jack like the Braves
It's hard
or
to
no?
go. It's hard to win it back to back. You
I'll
shouldn't-
take my one. I got my replica ring already. I'm good.
No, we sold that.
How many homers did you hit?
Huh?
How many homers did you hit?
I caught 2 of them.
You said I got my own. I got my one.
Caught two.
Caught 2 of them.
I'm happy for you. But
I caught
I
a
said
lot of them.
replica.
I
I
caught
said
a lot
replica.
of them with my eyes on TV.
I saw them all.
I did
here's
say
the
replica.
deal. Here's the deal.
I got it for
Postseason-
going to a game this year, actually. It was a giveaway.
Here's the deal. Postseason
Worth a
baseball.
ton.
Postseason baseball.
Give away ice cream and mini helmets. Go ahead.
We're done.
No.
Yeah, I want to try to get to this baseball talk. Okay. Postseason baseball.
one more
it's all
thing about
the-
Jayden Daniels.
It's always about the hot team, right? It's about the team that's hot. Braves did it last year. Nationals did it the year before. Phillies are hot. I like the Phillies to win it. I know it's the Astros. I know everybody wants the Astros to win it. They're the better team.
Cheaters.
Supposedly. Wouldn't be so sure about that. They are the most experienced team in the postseason. They've been in the World Series for the
By
last
far.
6 years. Verlander has pitched in the World Series. Bregman his postseason stats are top 3 of all third basemen in the history of baseball, and he's only 28 years old, which is pretty impressive. Here's my other point. You have Verlander, right? Verlander's having a great year. Verlander throws a lot of fastballs, throwing the most fastballs he's ever thrown in the top of the zone in his career, or the last 3 years, I guess.
Right.
51% of his fastballs are thrown 3 feet or higher, which means they're thrown at the top part of the zone. Houston has a short left field porch and a short, right field. You still get out, but short left.
Well, it depends on if the roof is open or not.
Depends on if the roof is open or closed. I would assume tonight
Exit
the roof is
view,
going to be closed. I would assume there's probably some weather coming in there and be closed. You know my theory, right? All the weather's coming from Dallas into here. That's where all the rain comes from. Cold fronts, rain, that's where it comes from. It comes from that way. So I'm assuming there's going to have some weather. The roof's going to be closed. Verlander's on the bump. You have a team that has a lot of lefty power hitters in their lineup. I say a lot. You have Harper and you have Schwarber, which is really the only 2 you really need in that lineup. And you have the other guys on the right and on the right side of the righties in the lineup have the ability to juice the ball out. Right now, if he's going to throw a lot of fastballs up in the air, what does that mean? A lot of balls get hit up in the air, fly out. I'm not saying he's going to lose, but I'm saying that I think the matchup is. I think the Phillies match up pretty well against them. Now, Astros don't strike out at all. And that's going to be tough for Nola because
I think
they're going to battle his ass off.
I think the Phillies are a better team than what people give them credit for.
I agree. Look at the
They've
look
spent
at the roster.
they've spent a lot of
I know,
money
look
to
at the
get a
roster.
lot of guys there, man, and they've underperformed. I get it, but I think they're better than you think. And when they're obviously hot, and those guys have track records. I think you're getting a much more even matchup than what people think. Obviously, the Astros are still favored,
I agree.
but I think the Phillies are they're there for a reason. They didn't just back their way into this thing.
I mean, you have Harper, who's MVP, superstar. Like, you have that guy. You have Schwarber,
As advertised.
As advertised. You have Schwarber, who almost hit 50 homers this year. You have Hoskins, who's hit the ball at the ballpark any game
It was
he
a
wants.
very good
Real
hitter.
Muto.
You have Real Muto, who's
He's a
one of the
very
best
good
catcher
hitter.
in the game.
You have Gene, who's an unbelievable
Gene.
contact hitter.
Yep.
Bohm can swing it.
Bohm can
You
swing
got some
it.
young kids in Bowen
Now-
and Stott that's come in that's played
Right.
well.
And now the defense, that's the thing, right? Like, are they going to be able to catch it and throw it?
Right.
As well as the Astros are going to be able to catch it and throw it because, in, postseason baseball, the more
All that
chances you
matters.
get, it all matters.
Yeah.
It all matters. So I'm excited to watch Nola pitch. It's 7 o'clock tonight. There's really not much going on tonight unless you're coming to Earls for the costume party. Why are you quiet over there? What are you doing?
Making a graphic.
Oh, you don't want to talk baseball with us?
I don't know anything about it.
You know anything about baseball?
Swing away.
I thought you liked baseball.
What's y'all's predictions?
I thought
I got
you were
Phillies
literally
and-
just saying you had eligibility left. I thought you knew everything about
That
it.
really.
He's
You
passionate
You
about
used to talk
college
baseball with me all the time. I don't know what happened to your
Passionate about
baseball
college
brain.
ball.
He killed my ego. It noted. Okay. Didn't feel like a real yes.
Jay, you heard him.
But
You heard
what's
him.
y'all's predictions? I got Phillies in 6.
Whoa.
In 6, huh?
Well, let's go one by one. Do you think Nola gets the win tonight?
Tonight's the hardest one.
But that obviously, dude, Wheeler.
I
Has
think
been,
Nola wins tonight.
I do too.
Wheeler has been lights out.
The only reason why I
There's-
think. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I just think Nola wins tonight. I don't know if you've seen Verlander's World
I
Series
know, hadn't
track
thrown
record.
Bad.
It's not good.
Not good.
And that's what I was going to ask y'all. If you're in the opposing dugout, you see, like, I would imagine you're expecting, not Verlander, you're expecting Wheeler to throw, and then you see, oh, Nola, because they want Wheeler. Is Verlander throwing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they want Nola against Wheeler. Is that them?
Trying to steal one?
Right.
If
If you're in the opposing
No,
dugout, you're
trying to steal
expecting
game 1 without having to throw Wheeler.
without trying to throw their ace.
I don't think it matters. I think you have ace 1 and ace 2.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think they have
You know
a
what I
1A, 1B.
But if
And
you're
however you want to look at it.
if you're in the like you see the lineup card in the other dugout and you're like, oh shit, they're starting Nola. Like you expect to see Wheeler.
I think you pretty much know these two guys are. It's a grind.
I
It
think
doesn't
what
really
happened-
matter how it comes out.
I think what happened is Rob Thompson, probably the manager of the Phillies, probably looked at
The matchups.
the matchups and looked at what pitcher is probably going to be better faced for them, and I think he thought maybe Nola was be better faced to face the Astros again. Now, Wheeler's going to pitch a game 2, and it's probably going to be the same exact lineup.
Yeah.
But
They do different things. I think he looked at the numbers of what the Astros do, and I think he likes Nola better in this matchup compared to what they do. Not necessarily that one's better than the other. I just think he likes that matchup better. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, right? Wheeler threw. Wheeler's quote unquote the one that's a little more fresh. He threw the first game last time, so I think he just likes this matchup better.
I agree. I think he's.
Have you been able to check the spread or anything? Like
Yeah, it's 1.5. Astros are favored by 1.5. No, well, it's not favored. Yeah, I guess it would be. It's never 1. It's 1.5. And then the over/under for the game is 6.5, and the over/under for the first 5 is 3.5. Over/under strikeouts for both pitchers.
I'm taking the
is at
over in that though.
I know, because I think
Short
Verlander's
porch,
going to give up a couple
short
homers.
porch and right.
Bryce will take him deep.
I like the over in that.
Listen, just catch that ball deep and shoot out to the Crawford boxes, dude. I think you have an opportunity. You have both pitchers are set the over/under 5.5 strikeouts too. So I would bet the under for Nola to get 5.5 strikeouts just based off the Astros just not striking out.
in his outing.
Yeah, Astros just don't strike out. That's
Yeah,
the
they
problem.
don't. Yeah. I like
So
that.
So I'm checking to see first 5, which is basically betting on the starting pitcher.
3.5.
Right.
The first 5 is what over under?
Over under, yeah, total. I would take the over.
Yeah, I think the over.
I like the over there.
I think
I
the
do
over is
too.
it because there's going to be an early homer or two, and there might be some guys on base.
First 5 innings, Phillies plus 135 on the money line. If you believe in your boy,
I believe in him.
Then
You're
bet it.
also going against the Cy Young guy on the other side too.
That
But
stinks in the postseason. World Series.
Stinks in the World Series.
World Series.
not the postseason.
Series,
Now
not
Nola's been nails this postseason.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game. It's
What's
gonna be a
y'all's
good game.
predictions?
It's like
though?
baseball. Oh, for the
I got
series.
Phillies,
Yeah.
I got Phillies weirdly in 7
that feels
We're
right.
gonna win it in
in
Houston.
Houston.
Oh, I would. Dude,
Well, I guess
Phillies-
6 or 7 they would win it in Houston.
Yeah, but 7 is.
I guess
I'm
they-
saying it too because I like to vote for a nice game.
I want a game 7, but the problem is I think if it gets to game 7, I think that favors
It
the
does
Astros.
favor him. I'm agreeing with you there.
That's why I said
I'm just taking
weirdly.
It. Yeah, weirdly in game 7.
I would love for Phillies to be able.
You know what? I'm gonna go Phillies in Game 7. I want Nola to get the Game 7 start.
I want to see him throw twice too.
Do you think that's also why? Because he may have a little bit more of a recovery rate because of his ability to capture the same release point multiple times, not a lot of stress on the arm.
I think it's all matchup.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're thinking about Game 7. I think they want to win it in 4.
Look, you got to realize at this point he's made probably 30 plus starts on the year. Like recovery rate, that's out the window, bro.
But
it's all hands on deck.
I will say this: if they get to Game 6 and they have it's a win or go home game,
what you got?
They're gonna pitch the guy they want to pitch that game. So like on short rest, and maybe they feel like they could. Maybe they feel like they want to pitch him on short rest on Game 6. Maybe they think that Wheeler needs a full 5 days on Game 7. So I don't know, but I want to see Nola. I want to see Nola get the MVP.
Lloyd, what you got?
I want to see him to go out there and shove it up their ass and get 2 fucking wins, 7 innings, 8 punchies every game, shutty, 2 wins,
and if he doesn't give the MVP to Bregman, I'd like to see him play well too. But I just think Phillies in 7.
You know who feels the best right now is Nola's dad. Finally, I can just wear one uniform.
I think he's still nervous as shit though right now.
Oh no, but at least I know who I'm rooting for at this point.
I wonder if Austin's got to be there, huh?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he texted me back the other day. It was very, very prompt too. Only a couple of days this time, not a week.
Wow.
Only a couple of days.
Only a couple of days.
I get the feeling of like a kind of a repeat with the Nationals a couple of years ago.
And the Braves last year.
Yeah.
But the Nationals really, like, they came in as like a real underdog. And,
Yeah.
Like, no shot this team should even be here, but they're going to win it.
Yeah, and they went there and they did their thing. So
baseball.
That's where I am with my prediction. I don't know how many games it would be. I'd love to see Phillies in 5 so they can win it. Is it 2, 3 in Philly? That's what I would really want to see is for them to be able to have that moment because Philly fans are one of a kind. Yeah. And for them to be able to win the World Series. It's been since Chase Utley and Ryan Howard since they won a World Series.
2009.
Well, this is their first playoff appearance in 11 years.
So first appearance since 09, I think, right?
That'd be 11.
Yeah, since
That'd be 11 years.
That'd be 13 if it was. 11 years would be since 2011.
11 then, yeah.
Yeah, 11. So they made the postseason, but they haven't won it since.
Well, they didn't win it in 09 because the Yankees won it in 09, right? Yeah.
When did they win it? The last time they made it was
in 08?
I think the last time they won it was the last time they made it.
I think they won it in 11.
Did they?
Or 08. It's one of the two because I was either in high school or in college.
08.
08? Yeah, because I watched
Were they in it in 09?
No.
Who was?
The Yankees.
Yankees beat who? If we had Paul Gervais here, he'd know.
Yes, he would. That's very good recall.
He would have said it already.
It was the. Oh yeah, you're right. They were in it in 09, lost to the Yankees.
Okay, so then they haven't.
Back-to-backers?
So then were they in it in 11?
The World Series. I think they were in the postseason after that.
Whatever. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long
and
time.
Philly is dying for something.
And their football team is good. Their baseball team.
Philly's
Philly's
in a good spot.
Hey, let me tell you, that's got to be a great town to live in right now.
Philly's in a good spot. The Sixers
And
are okay in basketball too.
And from the peanut gallery, Philadelphia wins the championship every recession. We're
Yes, that is.
I actually have heard that.
That is true.
I have heard that.
That is
That's
true.
a thing. No, that's a thing.
That is true.
That is a
The
thing.
last four times the Phillies have won as facts.
They usually say the recession comes after their
After.
championship, but I mean, it's
No,
already
the
started.
We're in one.
depression.
Oh yeah.
The
Well.
depression comes after their World Series.
They won it in the 1920s?
Yes.
Did they really?
Yes.
No, it's a thing.
Every time,
This
four
is
times
literally
they
a
had
thing.
an economic depression in the United States of America, the Phillies won the World Series that year before.
I wonder what their state votes for.
I don't know. But we're on the Phillies train.
Yeah.
I just ride the hot hand. I love a team that
I
gets
mean, the
hot.
Astros are hot too, though. Astros
I know,
See,
but
but
they're
like,
expected to be here.
Astros haven't lost.
See, but like
in the
this is
postseason.
what makes baseball great is we're all picking the team that wouldn't even have made the playoffs last year because they made it this year because of the new format, the extra wild card spots, and now we're picking
Very
them to
good
beat.
point.
And now we're
Very
picking them
good
to
point.
beat the 100+ win Astros in the World Series
That's crazy.
because they're
It's
hot.
gonna be fun.
And have a little future on Philly.
And and there you go. Playoff baseball is electric, and this is the last. What?
We just said the same word
Oh, you say electric?
at the same time.
Electric.
It's electric.
It's like our favorite word over here. We say everything's electric.
What we got on TV right there? You got a little Bengals LSU.
Oh, I think that was Joe's dad. It looked like him.
Was it? I didn't see who was talking, but they had a little Bengals LSU on there, but it's okay. What else do we want to talk about today on this
Fine
gorgeous-
Friday?
This gorgeous Friday.
Let's see.
Look, game one hitting keys. They'll tell you how to do it.
What do you think that traffic's like in Houston right now?
Shitty.
awful. So what do you think that traffic is in Houston?
Awful.
You'd rather walk?
Oh, it's awful right now. It's gotta be terrible.
When I went there for the LSU game, when they played Texas and them in that classic, the traffic was terrible. I was like, I'd rather walk everywhere.
Yeah, it's not good.
We can just
We
jump
walked
right
to
to
the
the
club, to the
Seggies.
stadium, back
It's
to the
not-
club.
It's not good.
You want to do that?
What?
Then we
Jump
left
to the
club.
Seggies?
I knew it was bad when they patted me down the way in. So
Yeah, the only thing about the Seggies here is I can't show them on the screen.
Yeah, so it doesn't hit as well, huh?
I actually, you know what? We're at only 46%. I can pull up a couple if you filibuster for me, and I'll pull up what my curtain call is. And then if you
Okay.
continue to do tease it a little bit, and I'll pull up.
Okay. What y'all got planned for the weekend?
See
You
the
got
way
costume
the way
parties
that
all weekend.
the way that you would tease it is be like, this segment brought to you by.
I was gonna do that in a little bit, but I was waiting for you to. Yeah, I need you to give me a heads up. to,
Okay.
You haven't even found it yet.
Just googling.
Yeah, but this segment's brought to you by Dozy Place. Last 2 seconds. Now I'm ready for you to go put your video up. Are you ready?
No, it's downloading.
Exactly my point.
plans for the weekend?
Yes. What's your plans for the weekend? Zach?
Me and my boys back here are going to stay here tonight because I'm friends with Trey. He's performing at 10. He usually puts on a good show if you want to come out.
And it's a costume party here.
And
at
a
Earls.
costume party. You know, we're all dressed up. We even got Jeffrey Dahmer, controversially, back there somewhere. But
You need more tinted. You need more tinted glasses.
yeah,
know,
but
dude.
and then tomorrow, Waka Flocka is at the house today. But you know,
Waka Flocka.
yeah, frat boy rented it. Frat ran it out. Assholes, whatever.
Waka Flocka is that's a big frat guy.
Yeah.
We hit Gorilla Dough. I love those songs.
Yeah.
Gorilla.
And you know, tomorrow's gonna be a big Halloween night in Tigerland, but we'll see. We got Domino's on the way here currently.
Oh, look at the turtleneck guy.
Is he Harold Perkins?
What a neck.
I know. I know. This is amazing. Wow.
You're missing the chain. I think he's trying to do Dwayne Johnson.
I thought he was going for Edgar Allan Poe.
The Raven?
Nevermore.
Here's my curtain call. Y'all can't see it because we don't have.
All right, curtain call is brought to you by Dozy
Deep
Place. Go ahead.
Oh, Steve Jobs.
Go ahead.
It
Wanted to
is.
guess
It
that.
is Marshawn Lynch.
Yep, you got to do it.
Sauce the way that I tasted
All right, that's the
some
truth.
products as well. Just making
Yep, you
sure
got-
it's
you
good.
gotta
He
do
goes,
it.
Oh yeah, that shit's straight. And he gives us the old.
All right, that's the truth.
Rub it everywhere. Make sure it gets hot.
Yep, you got to do it.
Curtain Carter Marshawn for never changing.
All right, that's the
They-
truth.
Marshawn.
They know every
Yep,
time
you gotta do
they
it.
put Marshawn on
He
TV
loves it.
that
All right,
you're
that's
gonna
the
get a
truth.
Marshawn like.
Yeah, nobody's talking about his DUI that he had.
I was riding on
Hey,
the ribs. He's
words
like, what
to
I do?
it. Hey, words to it. If you didn't get a chance to watch his segment before the Thursday night football game last night, it is unbelievable.
Hilarious. Those
Marshawn's a pirate.
Those motherfuckers.
It's-
Oh, my
I gotta
bad.
go look at
I
it.
got
Shit.
that shit.
I gotta go look at it. Look at it.
But that's my Kurt Carter Marshawn because you know what you're getting when you put him on TV, live television every time, and Marshawn never disappoints for the fan base. And I'm just assuming that Prime or whatever, I don't know if they have to follow the regulations of like the FCC won't let me be me, so let me see. So I'm not sure if they have to do that. So I'd imagine they have to cut the check before because if you're putting Marshawn live on the spot, Marshawn's going to Marshawn every time.
yeah.
And there's nothing better than
I'm actually still
authentic
surprised
guy.
people do live stuff with him. to
See,
be
but the
honest
best
with you.
part is like he caught the first one, but then said another word and didn't catch it at all. Like just kept it moving.
Just,
What's yours? I like yours.
Justin Tucker, after the game last night, you know, not the best looking, but a good win for the Ravens on the road. They're flying back, and somebody took a video of him, and they said, hey, you know, Justin, what are we doing? And he's, you know, because everybody, you know, fucking hates Russell Wilson, corny bastard. So he says, I think Lamar's going to lead us through high knees. Ravens
flock up.
Ravens flock, let's fly. And I thought that was a very good shot at Russ because you deserve kickers going at you.
At this
you bitch.
point. And just Tucker best in the
bitch.
game. But
And if you were doing high knees in front of me on a plane, I would tell you to sit the fuck down. I'm trying to sleep.
yeah, that was, dude, so memeable. But the other thing that I thought was interesting from that game was it was a 4th and 1. You have Lamar, you're running the ball down their throat. If you miss the kick, it's an 8-point game. And they said, essentially, fuck it, we have Justin Tucker. He's going to make it an 11-point game. The Bucks still go down and score and have an opportunity to win. But the fact that they trust Justin Tucker that much when you have that offense that ran for over 230 yards that
It was
game.
back to old Ravens football right there.
Yeah, but for them to be like, hey, Justin, I know 30-yarders, I mean, it feels like a guarantee. From 50, he was hitting them from 70 in pregame. But Easy. But anytime you put that in the hands of somebody other than your quarterback, you're going to catch flack if it goes awry. But Justin Tucker has earned himself as probably the best field goal kicker of all time.
I mean, you saw his reaction when he finally missed one against the Saints a few years ago. It was just complete shock that he missed it. It was like,
he doesn't just like make them; he like literally splits the uprights.
Yeah. If there was a circle in there that was worth like 4 points, he'd be the most lethal player in the league.
No doubt. My curtain call has nothing to do with sports.
Oh. My wife.
I walk in this bar, I see all the young bucks dressed in their costumes, and brings me back. And you know what? My curtain call is the Halloween weekend, because Halloween weekend is one of the best weekends that you can be in college for. And shout out to all of our friends here at Uncle Earls. I think they have a costume contest every night this weekend.
Yeah, tonight and tomorrow, both nights.
And so, my curtain call is to all the people out here that are going to enjoy.
I'm looking to win it.
Enjoy the costume contest.
The authentic
I'm
Mr.
sure there'll
Ballard
be some
suit, I think, should get some points.
limited clothing, and I'm sure there'll be some with a lot of clothing on.
Yeah, Jack, you're going to have a tough go at it.
It'll be fun. That's my curtain call.
Once the talent walks in.
Love Halloween.
Oh, yeah. What's the criteria here?
My curtain call
I think you know what it is.
has nothing to do with sports, but maybe a little something to do with sports. My curtain call is to the thumbs, the eyes, and the lack of sleep that Kyler Murray is going to get this weekend because Modern Warfare dropped this weekend. So God bless that kid, and I hope he shows up on Sunday.
Who do
Because
they
you
play?
ain't going to get much else out of him.
Who do they play this
Doesn't
weekend?
matter.
I don't know.
He's playing Call of Duty.
Take their under.
Yeah, he's playing the
Double XP weekend. He's like 4-40. Come on
Take
now.
their under. That kid ain't sleeping this weekend.
yeah, he's playing Mr. Grundle 369
You
on
know,
the internet.
opening weekend's gonna be double XP, and he's like, I don't know, 3-40 on double XP weekends.
Dude, there probably has to be a stat for him.
Wow, look at that.
A new map drops on Call of Duty.
Nola has 1-0 this year against the Phillies. It's through 6 2/3 with 9 punches. The only start he had against them.
Any gambling?
Well, then Verlander is 1-0 against the Phillies this year with 5 innings pitched and 10 punches. So.
Oh, they got the Vikings at 12
That's tough.
o'clock in Minnesota.
Also, you know what I'm not watching is the game in London on Sunday morning.
I watch it. I'm all about it.
It's
What do
the
you mean?
Jags.
I can't wait to
and
see how he does after
I
the
can't
Brian
wait to-
East, dude. What are you talking about?
I can't wait to watch Travis run. I'm gonna be up.
Oh, actually, I am gonna be up. I
I'll
gotta
be up,
watch that,
baby.
you're right.
I can't wait to see how those high knees pay off, dude.
Unfortunately, I do have people on the Broncos on my fantasy team I have to watch.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how those high knees pay off, man.
Are you
Those-
up? You're up before that anyway, right? Like
Well, especially this weekend, no football game. I'll be up.
Okay, wait. How much slack? Okay, Russell's already catching a lot of slack. Imagine he goes to London and plays like crap after the
he's
whole
gonna play.
plane thing. I know, but like, how much worse can it really get?
I don't know.
Be surprised.
Just the
Yeah,
onslaught
great
just
question.
continues, and he deserves every bit of it.
Do y'all think the locker room doesn't like him?
Yes.
Yes.
I think they tell
Would
him
you
stuff
like
too.
him in your locker room?
I wouldn't like him either.
What the fuck are you doing?
I think like more so than the stupid antics, he kind of acts like he's above everybody else on the roster.
He has a manager that his teammates have to call. That tells me all I need to know.
Yeah.
Can't even call him directly.
Yeah, I think for a good while, probably in Seattle, like that, maybe the dislike stayed quiet. I don't think it's very quiet on this team for him.
Do you think Russell goes like Peaky Blinders outfit? Do you think he tries to like fit the
Yes.
culture
Yes,
for
yes,
London?
yes, and yes.
Yeah, he'll wear something crazy.
That's pretty on brand.
It would be so on brand.
Yeah.
If he doesn't show up in his uniform,
Yeah, he might show up in the uniform.
might show up in his uniform, say, I did my high knees on the way over here, I'm ready to roll.
Own jersey again.
Good show, boys.
But not the color they're wearing for the game.
It's a nice Friday. It's Halloween weekend. Let's get the boys out early. Let's drink some. We just look. It's a light weekend. LSU's
come
on
to
a
Earls.
bye week. There's not very many games to talk about over the weekend.
What is the best game of the college football weekend? College game day is going
Ohio
to
State, Penn State, or Florida, Georgia?
Yeah, not Florida, Georgia. I think it's Ohio State, Penn State. I think it's Kentucky, Tennessee is actually a sneaky good game.
I actually want to see that game.
Me too.
I want to see that game.
Kentucky,
some
Tennessee.
picks.
Huh?
Give me some picks.
So
I got
Ohio
Tennessee
State,
winning.
Tennessee,
I have
Georgia.
Tennessee winning it, but I do like Kentucky maybe covering.
I think it's gonna be a good game, but I have Tennessee.
Yeah, I
winning.
think Kentucky. I have Kentucky covering.
I have a
What's the
a
number?
sneak one.
12.5, I believe.
Oof.
I have them covering.
What?
I have an
There's a lot of
unrealistic pick.
stats that show that they like it. that shows that they can cover.
Sounds so confident.
No,
Y'all wanna-
the pass defense of Kentucky is very good. Like the way they play it, and they don't allow their quarterbacks to get out of the pocket and run. That's kind of what they're known for. They play physical football. They run the ball really well. Now their running backs back, so hopefully they could keep the ball from Tennessee. I don't think they beat Tennessee, but I think that they have a chance to cover the 12.5.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Here's Jack's dumb hot take of the week. Georgia's looking ahead to Tennessee. Florida's got the back against the wall. Richardson goes off for one of his 2 good games of the year. Florida upsets Georgia.
Wow.
That is a hot take.
Georgia struggled against Missouri.
Hey, people are talking about they're starting to be not as sold on Georgia right now.
Oh no, I'm
That's what
sold
they're
on
saying.
Georgia. somebody's got to say something different up here.
I don't think that's happening.
I
don't think it's happening.
My pick of the week, and it stems back to what happened at Texas A&M all throughout this week. I don't think they're very focused on Ole Miss at all. I feel like they have a lot going on over there in Ole
God, they're such a dumpster fire.
College Station. What do you think the spread is if you don't know it?
It's Ole Miss at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Where's the game at?
At A&M. I would bet it's Ole Miss
Ole Miss by 11.
8.5.
11.5.
Ole Miss minus 2.5.
2.5.
Whoa, I'll take that.
It smells like cheese.
It does smell like a lot of cheese.
How is that possible, though? They have so much shit in their program that makes. How can you get everybody focused again on one game? And I think it's in College Station, but Ole Miss coming off a loss where they felt like they were outclassed.
Maybe they're saying maybe that's why. Maybe they think that like Ole Miss kind of like got exposed.
LSU put out the blueprint.
Yeah, maybe they got exposed.
Well, Harold Perkins ain't at A&M anymore. He put on a cowboy hat for about 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and
defensively.
said-
I'm talking about like. I guess you knew that Ole Miss didn't have a good defense. So.
Right, but I don't think they have.
Closer line than I thought, but I'd take that.
I'll take 2.5.
I'd take that.
I put a little number on it,
Yeah.
put a little shekel out there. But
I like that.
I've been. You hit a 9-game parlay and it all goes south from there. Like you really, what should you do after that?
You had a
hit
9-game
one?
parlay?
Last weekend?
Yeah, I did. I don't think I've had a winner since.
What was your
9?
What were the odds?
There's no way it was under 1,000.
Well, no, you know how he does his 9 game. He probably teased a bunch of it.
Yeah, I did a bunch of money lines.
Yeah, but it's still 9. That's a lot.
It was a 5-game and a 4-game.
Huh?
It was a 5-game parlay and a
so it was
4-game
2
parlay.
parlays.
Oh, it was
so he
2.
didn't
That's
have
not a
9-game
9-game.
parlay.
Technically, if I
No,
put
it's
them
not
all
because
together,
the odds
you
would-
didn't.
It's not because the odds would be astronomical if you would have put them together.
But I'll tell you, I mean, I'd have to scroll so far to find these. God damn it! All I see is losers on this sheet.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to tell
Everybody-
Boy tried to
bounced.
trick us right there.
I did it.
It's
I
not
did
a 9-gamer.
I did a 2-leg.
You didn't have the stones to put $1 on 9 games.
I did have the stones to do a 4-leg parlay. I did my first round robin yesterday. I don't know what that is. Didn't cash. Lost a bunch. Shit. All right, here we go. Here we go. I gotta stop betting. Cool.
I mean, do you want me to filibuster for this too?
This is tough. When you have money to play with, you kind of start putting some bets out there that you shouldn't.
Okay, well,
Let me get to it.
I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening today. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Halloween weekend. Please don't get too intoxicated, or do get too intoxicated, but drink responsibly. Thanks to our friends at Heineken. Oh, look at that! It flowed well there with the little shout out to the sponsor. Drink responsibly on this Halloween weekend. Hope you have very good costumes. If you have anything worth, if you have a costume that you created or wearing that you think is worth a tweet at us.
That's a great idea.
Tweet at the show. # Mik'd Up Costumes. And we'll post it on Halloween. We have a show on Monday. We'll post it on Monday.
And we'll give you a free bet.
Free bet.
Yeah, we'll toss you some credit.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
We'll talk to our guys.
Tweet at us, put it on your story, tag us in it.
That's
We'll
it.
we'll put it on there.
Put you on my story. You got, social media guy.
Um,
Put on 2 people that aren't going to be on the show.
yeah.
I mean,
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
is that as big of a swing and a miss as you could get?
Yeah,
or no?
John Peterson's not here.
enjoy the weekend. We'll be back live Monday.
Unbelievable.
We have Alabama beat writer coming on the show on Monday, so we can talk to him. If you
Talk
have
some
any
shit.
questions that you want us to ask them, call in. Enjoy the weekend. We love you. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
See you.